Hey, Anatomy students, Mr. Yachts again. This is day 3 of notes. We'll kind of see if we can wrap up notes today. I want to talk about how bones break and then how we heal those bones. So I'm going to go over some types of fractures and um, the different directions they go, and then how we heal them. Okay, so types of fractures. There's a lot of different types, and there's a lot of different definitions you'll run into on the internet. I kind of picked out the more common types of um, fractures terms that we use. Um, Green stick is one you usually find in really young children, and I'm probably going to disappear here, but hopefully you hear my voice. They don't need to see me anyway. But so I'm going to go full screen here so I can kind of cue in these, and you can see. I want to show you a diagram of the fracture and a real picture of a fracture, if that makes sense. So with green stick, um, there we go. I guess I am still in there. So with green stick, usually found in young children. So what happens, you can see it's more of a bending of the bone. It's called green stick because if you try to snap a green stick, it doesn't snap. It just kind of splinters. And that's what you find in young children because they have a lot of cartilage in their bone. And you have to look really closer to even see the fracture. Pretty quick to heal, but you can get some really weird deformities with that sometimes as well. Don't normally find that in not going to find that in adult because our skeletal system is a lot more solid bone, not much cartilage in there anymore. Very common fracture in adults and anybody for that matter is closed or simple. Goes by both names. Probably get a B question on the test. That's a fracture doesn't produce a break in the skin. Little danger of infection, pretty common one. Usually we're going to cast that or splint that, and you go on your way, and they don't have to do much at the hospital. You can see there's it's crossed. This is a broken nose. You can see that doesn't break through the skin. The ones we worry about are the ones that break through the skin, and that's called a open or compound fracture. Most serious type, not necessarily because of the break, but because it's pushed through the skin. And then once you get that skin expose or break that skin, and you expose that tissue to all kinds of bacteria and nasty stuff out there. So I'm going to warn you. You may want to look away on one of these slides, not the first one, but the second one, because it's pretty gory. I'll explain it in a minute. These are the ones we worry a lot about because you can see the broken end's got a sharp edge to it. It's going to break through the skin. Back many, many years ago during March Madness, there was a Louisville basketball player that went to block a shot. He came down and he landed kind of funny on his leg, and it was right in front of the Louisville bench, and you could tell by the reaction of the players, they all just turned away and ran away and were grossed out. I'm going to show you why, and I'm not going to leave it on screen very long. It's pretty gory, but it literally his femur broke and came through his skin. Or there you go. Nasty. Actually, not the femur, actually the lower leg. So that is one that we would worry about because now that skin is vulnerable to infection. Okay. So closed, open, and then sometimes we combine some terms with that. So a complete fracture involves a break across the entire bone. Um, that's something that's pretty common. Um, there you go, across the entire bone. And then an incomplete fracture, my link's probably not going to be able to get to it. Let's see if I can move this. Nope. Is going to be one where they stay attached. Okay, that's all that means. All right. Now, the other term we use with bone breaks is direction. So we could have a complete linear, an incomplete transverse. So usually doctors will use a combination of words talking about fractures. Linear occurs at the parallel to the bone's long axis. So when you look at that, you can see it's going to go up and down. Usually that's from compression where you land and the fracture doesn't normally go this direction. A lot of times when we land or we fall and we hold our arm out and brace ourselves, that's usually going to result in a linear type of fracture as you see there. Okay. Transverse is a little more common, a little bit of a right angle to the bones. You can see right there, there's a broken wrist. Okay. A little bit more of a right angle type of thing. Going back to the nose, you can see that's a pretty common fracture we see. Okay. Oblique occurs at a slant or a diagonal. Not as common. but sometimes we see those just by landing kind of funny. You can see some of those breaks there. That's a humerus, and it's kind of, it's just in a slant, a diagonal. We call that an oblique fracture. All right. Um, that's a really nasty one. You can see how those are broken. These are some pretty crazy pictures of that. And then spiral is where maybe your arm gets caught and your arm gets twisted one way and your body's going the other way. It's usually from a twisting action. Pretty common in young children as well because of cartilage. And that would be one like this. There you go. You can see these are pretty nasty fractures sometimes where they have to go in and reset the bones. Okay. So usually with a lot of fractures, it's just a case of we got to give it time to heal. We need to splint it and immobilize it. But sometimes we got to go in. You're going to watch a video today of a surgery where they had to go in and put a screw in the bone. That's not uncommon either. We can fix things a lot better nowadays than what we used to. So how does the bone heal? It's going to take time, about 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes quicker than that if it's not a real bad break. Can't speed it up, can't drink a ton of milk and think, oh, that's going to make it go faster. It's going to take time. So what happens is, it's kind of interesting how the body responds to a break. When a break occurs, the periosteum will produce new bone-forming cells, osteoblasts that we talked about on notes yesterday. They're going to go on either side of the break. A blood clot's going to form to start out with. If you've ever broken a bone, you know that, and I've been there and done this, you get that throbbing about 6 to 8 hours after the break. That's because that's called a procallus. Pro means first. So that's going to go in first, and it just holds the bones together. That's the body's way of holding it together. And then as time passes, 4 to 6 weeks, we're going to throw all kinds of junk into that break. Dense fibers, connective tissue, cartilage, new bone, and we form a bridge. And usually where a bone breaks, there's a little ridge because it actually builds up. Very rarely would you ever break a bone exactly in the same spot because of this buildup of material. That's called a callus. So the blood clot will dissolve. The callus will then go in and take its place. And that's when your healing is complete. And they do an x-ray and they're like, oh, you're good. Sometimes we got to put metal pins. We got to put some screws in there. Sometimes we take them out, and sometimes we don't. It just depends on the situation. I'm going to show you some crazy pictures. I had a student years ago. They got a drunk driver hit her head on. She's coming back from Noble County Fair on 6, and she got hit head on. So I actually went in and tutored her for a while. And these are pictures of her x-rays. She was nice enough to give those to me. They had to put rods in some of her bones. They were broken so bad. She's doing really well now, but she had to have rods put in, screws put in. You'll see some of that. Plates. I mean, she's got more metal in her than most people. And she was in pretty bad shape. She just crushed her arms, her legs. Now the heel, they actually put these in, and after the healing was done, they pulled them out. So sometimes these are left in, and sometimes they are pulled out. And you can actually even see where they had to angle some of the screws because the break was so severe in some of her x-rays. So pretty crazy stuff. And it's amazing what they can do with medical things today. And even if a bone's shattered, they can actually piece it back together. And if they can't, they'll put an artificial thing in its place. So pretty crazy stuff, okay? That's it for notes. So hopefully that makes sense. Thursday, tomorrow for you guys and my class during your class time, we will take just a 25 question test. It's going to be 20 multiple choice from the notes here. And then I'm going to put one diagram on there from your collar packet. That's this one. I'm just going to put this one in there and have some choices there. And you will tell me the parts of that bone. Okay, that's it. Pretty simple test. Be a Google form test. Be on Thursday, and we'll get that test out of the way. All right. Okay, have a good day. We'll talk to you later. See you. Bye.